A curious, sweet-smelling plant that has stood the test of time. It has a rich and varied history that has led to this plot of land becoming a thriving community project in the London Borough of Sutton. Lavender.
My name's Paula. I've been with Carshalton Lavender as a volunteer for 5 or 6 years now. So I grew up in Mitcham and we were always taught about Mitcham lavender. It was famous. It was really lovely to hear that there was a lavender field still happening in Carshalton, and that's how I got involved. So we grow about 2.5 to 3 acres of lavender. So our oil is bottled just down the road. It's just such a local product, nothing added, nothing taken away. It's as pure as it comes. I'm still a volunteer, everybody's a volunteer.
I've been volunteering here for quite a few years now. It was just like coming home really, because it's so unusual to see this amount of lavender in one place. It's kind of therapeutic to be here, and you kind of get this feeling that you're doing something really worthwhile for the poor plant. But you feel like you're doing something good.
What I like most is the lavender en masse and how that makes you feel. I've been coming for quite a few years. I just really love the quietness of it, really. What's lovely is just more and more people are coming. We have sometimes 20 every Saturday, and we used to have 3.
In Hong Kong, there's seldom that we're living in a house and we know nothing about gardening.
We're living in Sutton. We are very eager to not just living here, but contribute ourselves to the community. I think it's not just good for our mental health, also our physical health.
But why is lavender so important to the local area, and what are its origins?
Lavender starts as a cultivated plant, it seems, around the Mediterranean, and it goes a long, long way back there, certainly to ancient Egypt, and certainly the Greeks and the Romans were well aware of it. In the 16th century, southern France became a centre for perfume industry. From there it probably spread into northern Europe. Victorians came to have a huge love of lavender. The distillation of it in England really became a commercial thing. In the 18th century, the industry spread out across the Wandle Valley and up onto the edge of the Chalk Downs. There must have been really quite a large area under lavender.
Lavender was prized both for its domestic and medicinal uses.
That's a really nice example. It's a chemist dispensing bottle from Frost's pharmacist in Sutton High Street.
At the beginning of the 19th century, you find a firm called Potter & Moore who are growing herbs in Mitcham on a really large scale. And then we can identify quite a few local growers in the second half of the 19th century. There's Sprouls, who are active in various sites around the Wandle Valley. And in Carshalton you've got the Wood family. John Jackson was active in Beddington and Wallington for both lavender and mint.
The John Jackson Company was founded by a French businessman called Philippe Lesleur.
Yeah, and incidentally the name is incorrectly spelt because my grandfather couldn't speak English and he wanted a very English sounding name, so it's Jakson.
The lavender from Sutton supplied oils to companies like Yardley and even Victoria, Queen of England. The oil was in demand all over the world.
The First World War comes, and then after the First World War, the speed of development is staggering.
Between 1913 and 1933, in our borough, there was a huge amount of development. And of course, one of the pressures on the land was housing.
The trade was in decline. Lavender production became more cost-effective in France and other areas of Europe.
By the time you get to the middle of the 20th century, even the 30s, the industry is history, although it's very much remembered now with some affection, I think.
Although we've lost quite a lot of open land, we have got a large number of parks and open spaces within the borough still, and a local volunteer-led project, Carshalton Lavender, using some disused allotment sites.
So the field idea was from about 1996. I think the first harvest was 98, 99, and the first oil was made shortly after that. So we're here this morning, Friday, the day before our big Pick Your Own weekend, just getting things ready. So we put up some of the gazebos the day before. It's with some difficulty, they're always a bit tricky, but we've got great community support, and then we'll be all ready for tomorrow.
Nice weather, nice people. You also can see so many butterflies and bees here. The hard work that we're doing as a volunteer work is really pay off. You see, people are really smiling and they're happy cutting the lavender.
So here we are at Carshalton Lavender Fields on Stanley Road allotments. It's our big open weekend, and we've got loads of the community in here picking our wonderful lavender, and we love it.
I'm completely amazed at the colours and the bees and just seeing so many people enjoying it. Well, we've got quite a lot of Londoners. We've got people coming from Bromley, Bournemouth, Edinburgh. One man said he was coming from Hong Kong. Another lady came from Denmark. Peckham, we've had people from Peckham. It's really rewarding. It's really nice to see that everybody's going out happy. Everybody's smiling.
We usually pick it for drying when about 1/3 of the flower buds are open and about 2/3 perfect for oil.
I don't know when distillation started. It's possible the Arabs invented the alembic, which is a distilling device.
It's our earliest object, which provides evidence for distilling in the local area, is an alembic that came from Carew Manor between 1530 to 1611.
Okay, so this morning, all of the lavender that you've been picking is going to go into that one, in the one that looks like a saucepan. We're going to fill it up, but if anyone wants to help, so if you want to come and put a handful in, children as well. So it's going to go in there. So the lavender will look like this, and then we're going to put that big nose cone on the top. We bolt it all down. We make sure that all of these are in the right places. So this is going to be cold water going into this part, cold water coming out. That's to cool this bit. So that as the steam, and it takes a little while, as the steam comes up through the lavender, collecting all the loveliness, and suddenly it will turn back into liquid. And that liquid will be part water, part oil. And then we draw some off, filter it. We put it in a bottle, but we have to filter it first to make sure there's no ladybirds in there. When it's finished, all this lavender will be boiled and will just be twigs, nothing left. And then we empty that all out, put it in that big compost bin behind us. So last year's twigs are still in there, you can see. So nothing goes to waste.
Some local enterprises, such as Mayfield Lavender, are still operating. And while historically, this local industry has had its heyday, these volunteers continue to preserve the heritage of this special plant.